Welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I bought my dream car at 28 using property. It's not really about the car, but it's about kind of the process that you got to go through to be able to do the same, to be able to find a target, choose what your target is, go all in, commit to that, upskilling, everything that you need to learn to be able to take you from where you are. Because what I was doing one day was just writing down, buy an M4, buy an M4, buy an M4 every single day as one of my goals until eventually I achieve that. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to jump into it. I'm going to go through a little bit of a presentation to basically discuss this and look at what it actually was that helped me to achieve this, so that hopefully anyone watching this who's got something similar, and like I say, it's not about the car, it's about being able to achieve something that you set out for. And obviously that's great. And for someone it can be a watch, for someone it can be just having that in the bank account and security, whatever you want. But it's about the process, and we're going to jump straight into it. Right. So now we're going to get into it, and it's not really about the car. The car is just a symbol of you setting a goal and then being able to achieve it. But we're going to go through it in four phases, and what you have to do, and then I'm going to say what I did. So you've got to get brutally honest with yourself. Is what you're doing getting you to where you need to be in life? If it's not, then something has to change. We're only one decision away from changing our life forever. And you need to be honest enough with yourself to be able to make that change. You've got to set a clear, scary goal. It was really scary for me I've not come from a lot of wealth. So to feel like that's your goal and you're going to be able to afford that in your 20s was huge for me. And you've got to accept that it's going to be really uncomfortable. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to be not sure if you're doing the right thing or stuff or things like that. So the first thing, I was brutally honest with myself. I was working on site, working on nice houses, and one day, after a really tough day, I thought, Rupert, if you carry on like this, you're never going to get these things. You're always going to be working on nice houses, and this isn't what you want, and you're going to be so unhappy. So change it. So I was really honest with myself. What I was doing wasn't working. I set a clear, scary goal. The car's always been a dream car of mine. I've always loved it ever since I was little, the shape, everything about it. So I set that. And it was scary at the time. It was really specific to what I wanted. And BMW even laughed at me because when I used to have tough days, I would drive past a BMW in Doncaster and I'd stop and I'd go and walk around all the cars. I'd sometimes even sit in them, imagine myself owning one. And I visited that much that, yeah, one of the guys laughed at me. But again, you use this stuff as power and you go forward and you make a change in your life to be able to achieve this. It was really uncomfortable as well. Felt like everyone around me was achieving so much more than I was. I was really scared of starting and failing, but you've got to accept that. If you don't accept that, you can never move forward. Um, then is on to upskilling. So now you've really made your decision, right? I need to change. Something needs to change. And now you've got to create the skills. So now it's about setting your goal of what you want and then saying, right, what skills does that version of me have that I need to achieve? So you've got to invest in education. You've got to learn by doing as well. You can't just watch. You've got to understand your numbers and you've got to know your strategy. Now, my plan was not any fancy mentorships or anything like that. I learned the fundamentals through getting a job in property development, where I moved up from a laborer on site to a site manager to a contracts manager to then doing everything within the business. So I was use that to gain knowledge. I used that to learn, not just by watching. That allowed me to understand the numbers and it allowed me to know my strategy, what I wanted to do. And I wanted to create a cash pot because I didn't have that. The second phase is you're going to have to network and create your dream and then sell your dream, right? A lot of people use investors out there. You cannot get an investor to invest without selling your dream. So you've got to build your network relentlessly. I did this massively on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn a lot to reach out to potential investors and set up Zoom calls. I created a vision first so that when I was speaking to people, I'm not just speaking about one project. I'm speaking about the vision of what I wanted to do. That's a lot more powerful. You've got to sell the dream before you have it. You've got to know what you're going to do. You've got to back yourself. You've got to be confident in your numbers. And that only comes through doing. That only comes through learning. That only comes through phase two, which I mentioned previously. So if you can do that, you can pull it together and you need to understand what investors want. Investors want safe deals with the maximum number of return. So phase one, you've got to decide is enough, make the decision to do it. Phase two, you've got to start learning the skills and everything else that you need to be able to actually deliver. Phase three, create your network, your dreams, and be able to sell that dream. And then phase four is execution. So this is when you stop planning and you start doing. You make your first move, you make that first purchase, you follow the frameworks that fit your criteria. If it doesn't stack, trust me, I've done a deal that shouldn't have done, and the stress and the pressure that comes with that, it's not worth your time. There's also a huge opportunity cost if you do something and that doesn't work, right? You've also got to expect problems. We had COVID, we had interest rates, we had contractor issues, we had huge rise in bill costs. All of this type of stuff will happen. You can't avoid it. There's never a perfect time. So you've got to be aware of that. You've got to factor it in. And phase four is all about execution. So I just found my first property. I'd got the money secured from an investor. I went out, found that property, did it, made 75K on that first one. Right. I followed my frameworks. I could only buy a house for 90. That's the maximum I could go up to. I was viewing houses at 130, at 140, at 120, offering 90 until I got that one. Right. There were problems, but I expected them, and then we go through them. The fifth phase is just to enjoy it and repeat it. Like I say, you've got to celebrate the wins. The BMW wasn't the destination for me. It was proof that what I was doing worked and was able to enjoy it. It is really nice to have that. For me, that was really nice. I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. I love the way it drives. I love the way it looks. I love that I went out and created a plan and that. So, whatever that is for you, that's just a symbol of something that you want to try and create. Enjoy it when you get it. Take time to appreciate it and understand the work that you've put in. Recycle your capital. Make sure you're not spending all your money. And again, raise your standards. So, what felt scary on your first deal, by the time you've done another three, that shouldn't be scary. So, today, start your story, make a decision, start it today. Decide that enough is enough and follow your four phases, five phases. They're going to be different for everyone else, but you will be able to achieve stuff that you never thought you would be able to achieve. But the main thing is deciding enough is enough, learning the skills to be able to then do that, create your dream and sell your dream, execute on your dream, enjoy and recycle that again.